What did you think when you saw that?
I actually came to meet this trifling man, and I said to him, do you have a problem with me? Because I've heard these things. If there's a problem, please speak to me about it. And he denied it completely. He was like, oh, no, nothing. I don't have a problem with him. I was very surprised coming out of the house. And this boy would come to me and give me a peck on my forehead. I would think we're good.
That's in the house?
In the house. But then you go to the next person and say, this girl, she's the devil. Okay, I called him the devil's younger brother, and that thing never left his mind. This girl, and she's playing this game, she's smart. It was just going around. It's okay not to like me, but let other people have their own judgment about me. Let them get to know me by themselves. Don't go around telling people, doing is this, doing is that. It's not fair. Do you understand? Like, I watched so many clips that were so heartbreaking, but eventually, at the end of the day, I just realized that, he's a trifling human being. He should be very much ashamed of himself. I think he owes his mom an apology because he threw a home training in the gutter. He's a very sorry excuse of a man, and I really think he should be very ashamed of himself.
Is it this one situation that made you feel that?
No, it's not just this one situation. It's just being a genuinely malicious and vicious person to somebody that, if you had a problem with me, walk up to me and say, doing this. Do you understand? Give me the chance to explain myself. Give me the chance to maybe apologize. Give me the chance to even just give that opportunity to see if you were even wrong about me. But you never did that. And it's okay for you not to do that for yourself, but to go around trying to make sure that I'm isolated in the house, I really think he needs deliverance. I really do.
You really think he needs what?
Deliverance. He's a very terrible human being, honestly. Like Allysyn said, if you see a snake and you see this thing, go to the snake. This is not a human being. This is a wicked person. I promise you.
My question is, what was it about her that made you say the things you said?
It's okay to say, I'm not a good person, I'm a malicious person, my mom should feel ashamed and all of that. Week 1, it was 4 of us. Myself, Allysyn, Doyin, and Doyin. We're cool. Week 2, I used to cook for these people. We were like 1. By the time we had moved up to level 2, that's when the problem started. This was week 3.
So what changed when you got there?
There were times when they would be talking about me. I would be under the duvet hearing them. And this was week 3. For the life of me.
Saying things like what?
Doyin said to Allysyn that I wasn't actually sick, that I was pretending to be heartbroken because she had moved on from me.
What?
And I didn't get where it was coming from because we were literally guys.
Here's the only question I want to ask now. Right. Because she said she came to you a few times and you kept telling her everything is fine. Why did you not tell her how you felt?
Oh, so the time I was sick, right? She came to me and she was like, Adekunle, I'm not seeing you mingle with other housemates. It's unfair, if things are not working out with you and Allysyn, that's okay. What about Rachel? Rachel just came into the house. I'm not seeing you talk to her. Talk to her. There was that. And Rachel and I, started talking and everything. Same Doyin came back and she was like, I don't know why Adekunle is talking to Rachel. Like, you need to be wary of him. And I'm like, the truth is, we were on camera.
I think at the start of the season, we thought it was Adekunle and Allysyn, and then Hermes came into the picture, and that's you saying, you don't think she knows you're aware?
No, I said because of everything that was going on, it would make her feel uncomfortable if she knew I was aware of certain things. Because then I did ask her, I'm like, do you like it if I will ask you. It may look like I'm gossiping, but I would actually talk to the person.
Allysyn, now, so the switch up was heavy on us. We were watching, this was looking interesting, and then it looked like one morning we just woke up and you were in that bed. Before we get to that conversation, where did that come from?
Immediately I saw him I thought at the back of my mind that he was interesting. I mean, he looked different, and I'm usually drawn to stuff like that. So I think the switch was that the first day I also met Adekunle. I felt like he was smart, and physically he's not the kind of person I would go for, but it's not like he's not fine. Like, I just go for people that look different, right? So I was drawn to, knowing Adekunle from afar, just being attracted to the fact that he was intelligent was not enough. Now getting close to him, I felt like he was a bit too, I don't know the word to use, too like a snake, too just.
So he was sneaky?
That's the word, exactly. I feel like he was
there
too
something
sneaky.
That happened and was there a moment
just
or
him
something?
Instigating things for no reason. I don't like people that just gossip or just take people's problem as their own or just not chill. He was just too in people's drama. He was just too. I just couldn't stand it anymore. So that's why. I felt like.
Did you tell him though?
I think I told him that I couldn't figure him out. That's why I left. I think that's what I said. But in other words, I was trying to say that he was just too.
Do you think the switch up was too quick?
I don't think so. I feel like if you don't like something anymore, you can move on.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick to it just because of. And that's what I did.
Adekunle, this was a very recurring narrative. of you.
So guys, maybe we start again because some people are just coming now.
The loose word is gossip. She's saying that that's the reason she left you. You just did that. What does that mean?
Like I'm just hearing it now.
She says she told you in the house that.
No, she said she told me that she couldn't figure me out.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Did she
couldn't
tell you
figure
that?
him out.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
But according to her, there was more reason to it, which I'm just hearing now. It's fine. It's cool. It was a conversation that came up in the room. I think that was when someone mentioned it, that there was a Hermes Allysyn dynamic. Then I started to pay attention to it. And I'm like, oh, yes, it is actually true. And Hermes had already told me, he's spoken to Allysyn and she's told him no. But then I started to notice it. And that was when I was speaking to her. Like, I see the way you look at homeboy. Like, yeah, that was it.
Do you think that's a fair narrative though? Because it's
That I'm a
very
gossip?
recurring. Yeah.
It's fair. A lot of people can say, I went around talking about other people, right? But there's a timeline. It started at a particular point in time. Before A happened, other people were doing the same. From the very first day.
What other people?
And most of the other housemates in level 1. So from the very first day, the conversation going around was a lot of people can't figure me out.
You know the way I was very close to Doyin, right? He will come to me and be like, "Oh, Doyin is not a good friend. She doesn't like you like that. That he feels like she's just with me just because of like the house. She's not genuine." That was when I started to look at him in a way because I really liked Doyin. So I was like, why is he talking bad about her? Because I didn't see her do anything wrong to him. So that's when I started to think that this boy wasn't like, he was moving very funny.
He'll lie. I promise you. If this boy tells you it's raining outside, check. He's a liar. One of that.
Yeah.
Doyin, very interesting dynamic you and Adekunle
From
had
start to finish.
Right? And the microphones everywhere. The one thing I did understand was everybody had a game to play. And I didn't see the need to poke into anybody. I thought it was okay. You guys can do your thing. It's fine. No, the mistake I'd say I made a lot of last year was I was okay being the fall guy. Stuff will happen. People will blame me and I was fine with it. I'll take it like that. But there's one conversation that I don't think anybody knows. It probably is a build up to that. The Saturday night party that we had.
How early was this?
This video.
Okay.
This particular video. The Saturday night party that we had, because that was a Sunday morning, afternoon. I think it was one of the parties where Doyin got really drunk. And I took her out of the club.
Who?
Doyin.
Okay.
Put her on the garden chair, the flutterwave one. Then Allysyn comes out and I'm like, take care of your friend. Then I go back into the club. The next morning, I go into the restroom, checking a whiz. Allysyn and Doyin are in the next stall. And then Doyin goes, Adekunle, did you see him? He was looking very miserable yesterday. I'm sure he was not happy seeing you and Hermes dance together. And I'm like, When they finished, I then coughed so they would know that I was in the restroom. And then I go outside and I'm sitting down and then Elosua comes, what's going on. I'm like, bro, man, I just heard something. Then the Doyin conversation comes up. Then he goes, a lot of people have said so many things back.
Which is what led to this.
That's what led to that. So when he said I told Alice, because I wanted to know if genuinely we were friends, because by the time we merged, week 6, I started to sense that the people who were close to me, something was off.
Okay.
I think the one that was even shocking was the time Big Brother asked me who are the people that nominated me, and I said Allysyn, because I could tell if you're my friend, I would know how you are and everything. So I could just tell something was off. It's one thing a lot of people in the house they don't know. I'm a very intuitive person.
Okay.
I won't come to you to say, Bob, I pick up on things.
So now, that's a lot. From his perspective, you also gossiped a lot about him multiple times. Toilets, under the duvet, the garden, I don't know. But you also had a lot to say about him. Why are you now upset since it looked like the feeling was mutual?
I don't think I ever spoke, but I think maybe the worst thing I said about this boy.
Do you remember the toilet situation in particular?
No, I just
Because he
asked
said he
Allysyn. She
coughed.
doesn't even remember.
Yeah, it
She
was a
doesn't
night
even
of a
remember.
hangover. She was drunk the
Okay,
next
I'm
day.
giving this
You
boy
know.
enough words.
You know
I'm
the
not
funny
gonna give him
thing, nobody
words.
has to take my word for it. Everything is on Showmax.
You're a
It's
liar.
recorded. It's
He's
okay.
a liar.
It's on
Nobody should listen to
Showmax.
him. He'll lie. I promise you. If this boy tells you it's raining outside, check. He's a liar. them one at that.
Adekunle, it's okay to admit that you were playing the game. Let me just tell you straight up. It's very okay. It's
Yeah,
a
I
game.
was a finalist. I don't have to lie about
No,
it.
yeah, you don't just have to blend it in lies and stuff.
again-
No, you have to come straight, man.
yeah,
it's very necessary. See, you don't have to go
Hold
like
on.
this. It's
No,
really
hold on.
unnecessary.
Just hold
you know,
on.
many things you say, you blame it on an hangover. You just said something about a hangover that they don't even remember saying. Everything is just looking like
Just
this.
hold on a second.
Man, we are beyond this.
Can I clear
Let's get it
something?
straight, man.
Can I clear something up? Here's the thing. Everybody has asked for my side of the story. I've given my side of the story. But then the narrative that played in the house is still playing outside the house almost a year after. That I'm a liar. That I'm not straightforward. The show is over. At this very point, I have nothing to gain. I have nothing to lose.
One of the biggest fuels for this narrative of yours was with Shegs. We're going to get to that subsequently, but I just wanted to get Shegs' perspective, not on what you think about him, but what you think about this.
To be honest, I resonate a lot with what Dawson said. I would give him more respect if he stood up and he said, you know what? I was playing the game, I got to the final. Because I respect you, you got to the final. I wouldn't play it how you played it, bro. But you got there in the end. I genuinely believe I never get it wrong. Like, I feel like I can clock if you're a snake or if you're real. But you know what? I'm open to advice, I'm open to learning, I'm open to being a better person. So I said, I'm going to South Africa, like, I'll actually check this out. Like, let me actually see, did I get this P wrong? Like, this guy might actually just be a good guy. Maybe I was bugging, you know, I had no phone, I had no TV, couldn't see my family, couldn't speak to my friends. Maybe I was bugging. Went to SC, guy, you're on the same P. So for me, it's like, I'm not.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's not preempt that. But very quickly now, why is that why you believe, because he's told his own side of this story. Why do you believe her and not him?
No, you know what, yeah. I wouldn't say I believe her and I don't believe him. I just believe what I saw. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It wasn't a Doyin or Allysyn
Okay.
situation
Okay.
or Adekunle and Shegs situation or Adekunle and Diana situation. It's just you were moving a certain type of way in the Big Brother house. It got you to the final. It was probably entertaining to watch.
All right.
Like, bro,
Fair enough.
you give them now. I don't get it.